This video is going to be about Mr. Donald Trump and some of his views in regard to immigration and illegal immigration. And the reason I'm doing it is because I saw a press conference today, I saw footage of a press conference today in which a journalist, Jorge Ramos, was evicted from the press conference, because he was asking questions that Mr. Trump didn't like, or whatever. It was pretty obvious that Trump didn't want to answer these questions, and that's the reason he evicted the journalist. Now, I have a number of views about immigration. I was actually born in Australia. I now live in the United States. I'm here legally. I have permanent residence, and I have, strong views about some of these issues. I'm going to make a few points. The first one, in regards to Mr. Trump, he has this idea that all people who are here illegally should be deported. Now, there are more than 10 million people living in the United States without documentation, or who do not have legal permission to be here. The idea that all of these people are going to be rounded up and shipped back to where they were born is completely absurd. One, it is not possible. How are 10 million people going to be found? Who's doing it? How are they getting shipped back to where they came? Are they going by boat, plane, bus, train? Where is this all taking place? How is this happening? Completely ridiculous, absurd, not gonna happen. Who's paying for it? Would cost billions and billions of dollars. What a complete and utter waste of money. So that's absurd. Number two, the notion of building a wall, or the idea of building a wall between the United States and Mexico along the entire border. Basically, it's not possible. A number of people say, and I've seen a number of reports where it's documented that it's not geographically permissible to build a wall in certain parts of the border. So it's actually never going to happen. So why are we even talking about it? Again, the cost of building some type of wall along the entire border, even though it's not even possible, would be billions and billions and billions of dollars. Again, a complete and utter waste of money. And the idea of a wall completely neglects the real problem. Why are people coming here? Why are people fleeing Mexico? Why are people fleeing El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua? The reason people come to the United States from those areas is not because they want to have a party. It's because they're desperate, seeking a better life, often just seeking mere survival. So if you don't actually address the real problems as to why people come here, it's just a band-aid solution, a wall. It doesn't actually change anything. And if the United States really wanted to stem this flow of, illegal immigrants, what it would really do is invest more money in those parts of the world to help reduce some of the reasons to why people come here in the first place. Fleeing violence, fleeing poverty, fleeing corruption, and all that goes with it. All right, the third point. When I'm watching videos about this topic, or I'm reading articles in the news about this, you'll often see stuff like, if you want to speak Spanish, go to Mexico. Well, it's a completely moronic comment. One, Spanish is spoken in more than 20 countries around the world by hundreds of millions of people. Mexico is not the only place where Spanish is spoken. Spanish is also the second most common language in the United States. It's not going anywhere. More than 40 million people speak Spanish. It is a very powerful language in this country. So the idea that, no one should be speaking it is completely absurd. And that is just really rooted in this xenophobic view of the world that some people in the United States have. And they completely forget the fact that, actually the United States was started by illegal immigrants. And immigrants have helped build this nation and helped it to become what it is today. My last point is this idea that people who were not born here should really shut up and not express an opinion about what goes on here. Well, actually, that's really offensive, given the fact that many people have come here legally, they pay taxes, they contribute significantly to this society and its progress. And the idea that such people, myself included, should not have a right to comment or critique what goes on here is completely absurd. The majority of people who live here have roots at some point in some other country. So, if none of us are allowed to speak, there aren't going to be many people speaking. So, I really hope that Mr. Trump doesn't continue with this anti-immigration fest, because it's really just going to fuel a lot of xenophobia in the United States, and that's not a good thing for anyone. Thank you.